Superiority Complex. A person with a superiority complex believes that they are exceptionally better than others. They have a sense of exaggerated self-esteem and believe whatever they do, say, or believe is right. They feel that they have all the virtues and look down on others as inferior to them. This person has a high opinion on themselves and does not refrain from telling others about it. God Complex. People with a God Complex think that they have divine, godlike powers and are above all mankind. They believe that they are capable enough to take extreme risk and shun the rules of society. The world revolves around them. A common diagnosis with a God complex is narcissistic personality disorder. The biggest difference with a superiority complex and a God complex is the lack of empathy for others that somebody with a God complex exhibits. Inferiority Complex. This is the exact opposite of a superiority complex. It is a common complex that makes people believe that they are unworthy or less capable than others. They may overcompensate because of this complex and actually achieve great things, yet they never believe that they have achieved enough success. An inferiority complex makes the person resentful and dissatisfied, making them avoid social interactions. Persecution Complex. It is one of the most common complexes in modern times. In today's fast and ambitious lifestyles, most people are in a hurry to achieve as much as they can as fast as possible. The persecution complex makes a person believe that everyone is trying to harm them. The belief of being harmed is usually irrational and exaggerated and makes the person look at everybody with extreme suspicion. This complex is commonly associated with women. An example being a woman walking down the street at night assumes that the person walking behind them is stalking or trying to hurt them. Parental Complex. This complex refers to the phallic stage of development, starting around 3 years old, in children as they relate to their parents. This complex is best understood by the idea of daddy's girl or mama's boy, respectively. This phenomenon relates to the idea that either a son or a daughter will take excessive traits and attributes to the parent of the opposite sex, usually unconsciously and unintentionally formed from the way that they were raised. This complex is quite interesting and not largely understood. The origins of this complex are told in a Greek tale of Oedipus. It was a king who unwittingly killed his father and married his mother. The opposite side being the tale of Electra that had the same motive. Horror Complex. It is typically seen in men who are not able to maintain a committed sexual relationship with their partner. This complex has become very popular amongst the Sigma male wave that has taken over the internet over the last few years. This creates polarized perceptions of women in general. People with the complex either consider their partner as peer or good, or to the extreme opposite, a bad promiscuous woman. The moment they begin to admire a woman sexually, they think of her in a disgusting way. A man who will sleep with or lust for a sexual and beautiful woman, but will never respect her as wife material, and he will never marry her. Guilt Complex. This makes the person blame themselves for everything that goes wrong. They're excessively self-critical and think that they are accountable for everything bad happening. They have a persistent belief that they have done something wrong or they will do something wrong in the future. They tend to be overly sensitive to others' opinions and put all their efforts into trying to make things better. Martyr Complex. A person with a martyr complex strives to get attention and sympathy through suffering. They put people above themselves to the extent that they ignore their needs and desires. A person persistently carries out self-sacrificing behaviors. A person with a martyr complex may deny their own needs to serve others, even at the cost of their own well-being. An example of this is in families where one person may be very unhappy that they have to do a particular chore, but they also don't trust anybody else to do it properly. Again, this person is more likely to do it themselves and then complain about it rather than having somebody else do an okay job or one doesn't meet their standard. A martyr complex can also manifest in friendships. A person might go along with what their friend wants to do even though that they don't enjoy it, and then later complain that the friendship is imbalanced because activities are never their choice. They might be available and supportive when a friend is in need, but then do not reach out when they are in need, and then later claiming that the friend isn't there for them in the same capacity as they offer. Some subgroups of a martyr complex involve willful suffering in the name of love or duty. This could lead to self-harm if they do not get the attention they want.